Bonjour chers amis, bienvenue dans votre émission Kalan, l'école à la maison. Aujourd'hui, nous vous proposons un cours d'anglais.
Le cours sera présenté par Monsieur Youssouf Bonjalé. Suivez attentivement ce cours et on se retrouve juste après.
My name is Youssouf Bonjalé from the school group La Providence Momo Sissé. Okay, before we continue with today's lesson, we're going to correct the homework first. So let's go to the correction of the homework. Correction of the homework. Let me write it here. Correction of the homework. I think you've tried to do it, and many of you has found the correct answer. The first answer was find the verb derived from the noun the hunt. Find the verb derived from the noun the hunt. I think it is the verb to hunt. To hunt is the verb derived from the noun the hunt. Okay? The second question was cite 3 things we need when we go for hunting. Cite 3 things we need when we go for hunting. Okay, it depends. We can have a gun, semicolon, a dog, and if you want, let's add a knife. A knife. Okay, we can have other answers. Okay. Question number 3. Complete these sentences. Number 3, it was to complete the sentence with the word, your own word, for example. It was ... is the fact. Is the factor of catching. Is the fact of catching fish. Okay. It means this word here, you have to look for it and find it. Okay. The answer is fishing. Fishing. Fishing is the fact of catching fish. Okay. Thank you. We are going to continue today with the new lesson, and the title is the present perfect. That title was announced last time we finished with the vocabulary. Okay? Why the present perfect? The present perfect is very important for the 9th class. Very important. I can also say that this is the main grammar point of the 9th class. For example, very often we can ask students to put verb into present perfect or to translate sentences putting the verb into present perfect. So the present perfect is very important for those who are going to sit for the final examination of the GEF. Okay? So we start with some sentence we're going to observe. Let's observe the following sentences. Observe these sentences. Okay. The first sentence is Ali has played football. Ali has played football. The second sentence, we have gone to school. We have gone to school. Okay, we are going to base on these two sentences to draw a rule and to learn how to put verbs into present perfect. First of all, we are going to read the two sentences. Sentence number 1, Ali has played football. Sentence number 2, we have gone to school. Good. Now, the first thing to do now is to underline the verbs in each sentence. We are going to underline the verb in each sentence. The first sentence, Ali has played football. We have here has and played. The second sentence, we have gone to school. We have here have and gone. Okay. If you want to look at the sentences, in each sentence, we have two verbs. We are going to see what kind of verb are they. Okay, for the first sentence, we have has and played. For the second, we have and gone. Okay, now let's see the role of this with each verb. Here we have has, which is auxiliary verb, and played, that stayed for the past participle. Okay. For the second sentence also, we have, which is the auxiliary verb, and gone, which is the past participle. Okay, now, from what we have seen, we can now try to get a rule of how to put a verb into the present perfect. Okay, let's write the rule. If we can do it together. Rule. The first thing to do, we have, first of all, the subject. We have the subject, which is here Ali and here we. After that, we have plus the auxiliary. Let's write auxiliary. And for the auxiliary, we have two kinds of auxiliaries. Two kinds. At the first sentence, we have has, and at the second sentence, we have. And after that, we have another verb here. And this verb is at the past participle. Past participle. Okay, so we can have now the rule subject plus an auxiliary verb. It can be has or have, and after that, the second verb, which must be in the past participle. Okay. From that, let's try to make our own sentences using or following this rule. If we can do it, it will be very, very interesting. So let's do it together. Let's do it together. We try to build or to construct our own sentences following this rule. Okay? Let's go. Number one, we need a subject. Subject, I. And we need an auxiliary, have. Now we have to add the past participle. Seen. I have seen. Okay, now let's add an object. I have seen a lion. Okay, I have seen a lion. We have a subject here, the first person, singular. We have here the auxiliary, have, and after seen is the past participle of the verb to see. And at the end, we have the object. Okay? I think it is very easy to construct a sentence into the present perfect tense. Okay, a second sentence. The auxiliary have started the march. They have started the march. Okay, I have tried to choose the verb according to the kind of verb we have. First here, it is an irregular verb, and the second one is a regular verb. It means for the regular verb, their past participle is the same as their simple past form. It is ended by ed. As for the irregular verb, we have no choice. We have to learn them by heart. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you something that will help you make easy the construction of the present perfect. Let's write here how to put the verbs into the present perfect tense. Into the present perfect tense. Okay, I'm going to underline it. Okay, let's consider this table. We can also set table or chart. Table or chart, okay? Now we have subject, auxiliary, okay. Let me see for the chart. We have first subject here, the auxiliary verbs here, auxiliaries, and here we have the past participle, past participles, and here we have the objects or complement, it depends. The object or complement. Here is auxiliaries. Okay, let me write it like this. As we know, at the place of the subject, let's write I, you. We have here he or she. We can have here it, we, they. So here we have two kind of auxiliary. We have, and after we have has. Here, the past participle, gone, bought, cooked, rained, written, stuffed, and here drunk. Okay, the object or the complement to say good, recur, some beans, a letter, a thief, and here some water. Very good. Now with this chart, I think it is very simple to build sentences into the present perfect tense. You just choose here a subject. If you choose a subject, you must be careful to choose the appropriate auxiliary. It depends. And here we have the list of the past participle. You choose one. And we have here the object or complement. We have to be careful about the choice of the auxiliary, because we know that has is for the third person singular, and for the other pronouns we can choose have. Okay, now let's make sentences. I'm going just to start with you, and I know if you have this chart, every student can make as many sentences as he wanted. Okay? Sentence building. Okay? Yes, here we can have, if I want, I, for example, here, auxiliary, have, I have, gone, for example, the past participle, And here, to say good. To say good is a complement. To say good. So with this board, it is simple. We have the subject, the auxiliary, the past participle, and the complement at the end. Another sentence, for example, we have here it. With it, we have to take the auxiliary has. It has. Now, let's choose the past participle, rain. So we have it has rained. It has rained. Here we don't have an appropriate object or complement for this sentence. So we can stop here. It has rained. Okay, very good. So with this, together we have built only 2 sentences. But we can continue building as many sentences as you want. Okay? And this chart will help us to build sentences into present perfect tense. Okay. In these sentences, into, put the verb in these sentences into the present perfect, the present perfect tense. Okay, I will just give you 2 sentences. The first one is Mrs. Conare, between brackets, to buy a new car. Mrs. Conare to buy a new car. The second sentence, the village people, between parentheses, to grow yams. Okay, so here are the 2 sentences, and you have to look for the past participle of the given verbs, the verb which are between parentheses. You look for their past participle. So you combine the auxiliary with this past participle, and you will get the correct form of the present perfect. Okay, we have Mrs. Conare here, the auxiliary, and after the past participle that you will find from this verb plus a new car. The second one is also simple, the village people, auxiliary, plus the past participle of this verb to grow, and you have the answer. Okay, thank you. I think we have come to the end of this lesson. So you do this exercise.
Nous espérons que vous aurez autant appris que nous dans ce merveilleux cours d'anglais dispensé par M. Youssouf Bonjalé.
N'oubliez surtout pas de continuer à vous exercer afin de maintenir les niveaux. Et à très bientôt sur Kalan, l'école à la maison, pour un nouveau cours.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.